Thank you, ma'am. It was very informative, and I'm sure that the model curriculum will make difference in technical education. So thank you for sharing your time. Now we have next speaker, Dr. Vijayalakshmi. She's from Assistant Commissioner, Additional Commissioner Academic of Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan, and she'll be sharing the story of Kendriya Vidyalaya. This is a national school of Government of India, which is spread in every part of the India and outside of India also. So, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Rather, it feels very good to participate in this webinar. And I thank the organizers for choosing this kind of a title.
Yes.
You said setting benchmark for the national schooling. Very truly, this title suits Kendriya Vidyalaya, since Kendriya Vidyalayas have a national presence, and also they are mandated to set pace for the school education in the country. Way back in 1962, our organization started with a humble beginning of 20 schools at that time after Indo-China War. Depending on, looking at the plight of the army people, the defense personnel who were posted at various border areas and difficult areas, and on constant transfer from one place to another as a welfare measure for them to have their family with them so as to boost up their morale. These, a thought, a vision came out to have an uninterrupted studies and education for the children of these people. So why not we have, since education is a on concurrent subject and different states have different curriculum and different languages taught, when people move from one place to another, there used to be a difficulty in continuing the education of the children. So in order to address that problem, in order to provide an uninterrupted education for the children of especially the defense personnel and also the central government employees, these schools came into vogue way back in 1962, where 20 schools which were working in the defense campuses called as regimental schools were converted into Kendriya Vidyalayas. At that time, they were called as central schools. And then from there started the expansion of the organization. Today, at around about 58 years of completion, we are at a figure of 1,245 Kendriya Vidyalayas. Out of these, 1,242 are in the country, spread throughout the country in various locations, stretching from Tawang to Kanyakumari to Kargil. And 3 schools are functioning abroad in Kathmandu, Moscow, and Tehran. So this has been a very long journey. Today we have around 14 lakh students, girls and boys enrolled with us. We are composite schools running from classes 1 to 12 affiliated to CBSE. I think these are the facts everybody knows by now. And today we have around 14 lakh students enrolled with us and around 50,000 teachers working in our organization. But if you can look back for 58, around 60 years, so many students we have churned out. And today I feel really proud when I think of people who have studied and passed out of Kendriya Vidyalayas, and today they are occupying various very vital positions as doctors, as engineers, as civil servants, as sports persons in the cultural field at various spheres, and are contributing to nation building. So this story, benchmark, that's a big word, but what I would say is we have consciously probably did not make any kind of benchmarks, but how the journey of the organization took place and what are the basic salient unique features of our organization, I just wanted to spare a few minutes and share with you. Number one is the infrastructure that we provide in our schools. As most of you must have already seen, our schools, since we started long time back, they're very spacious schools. We have provided for, Government of India has provided for very good infrastructure facilities. Our schools are spacious, classrooms are spacious with all required facilities such as labs and library. And most importantly, we have a lot of playgrounds in most of the schools. Most of the schools, since we have started our journey way back, it was easy to get land. Nowadays, it is slightly difficult. Land has become prime, but still we insist on at least 5 acres of land for starting a school. So sports fields are a must. And I remember a lot of parents coming to us for admission, stating this as one single reason. I used to ask them, why are you interested? There's so much demand for admissions. I used to ask the parents, why are you interested in Kendriya Vidyalayas? The one and foremost answer most of parents had given me is, we really love to see large playgrounds in your school. So we want our children to play. Studies, though, it is there in every school, but we want our children to have many more activities. That's why we are interested in Kendriya Vidyalayas. So I think this is one of the features of KVs. One of the dreams of our forefathers of providing for holistic development of children, not only scholastic, but all co-scholastic activities were given equal impetus. And now also we are in the way of providing more and more facilities in the schools, such as we are pacing up with the latest trends as well. Most of our, I think more than 30% of our existing classrooms in all the schools on an average are converted to smart classrooms. So we are making use of the modern technology as well in our transaction in the classrooms. This is number one feature I wanted to share. And secondly, the quality of teachers. We have various hierarchies in the entire system, but the actual deliverers in the classroom are teachers. So their quality matters a lot, and that is what gives any kind of significance to the organization. So we give a lot of importance to the recruitment of teachers. Our recruitment is done through a very rigorous practice. Our recruitment rules are very well defined, and we do an all India recruitment wherein the candidates will have to pass through a rigorous written test and then through an interview, and then they are selected and posted in various schools. So we give a lot of importance for quality of teachers, and not only during the recruitment, but after entering the service also, the organization gives a lot of importance to the updation of the teachers. Not now, right from our inception, Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan has been providing good training to the in-service teachers uh, frequently. It is a must. We have made it a must long time back for every teacher to undergo a rigorous 21-day training at least once in every 5 years. And apart from this long in-service training, the teachers are also involved in various workshops and whatever new things are coming. For example, there is a POXO Act which the teachers must know. There is a child protection rights, what is coming now, what is required for the teacher to do if some such thing happens in the school. All these things we want our teachers to know. We organize 2 to 3 day training programs or workshops at various levels and update our teachers. So these trainings have been happening, and I think this kind of a recruitment plus updation of teachers on and off is something which is also is rather making our teachers very qualitatively highly competent. Our teachers are really competent, and they have a very good exposure to a lot of things. And today I'm very glad to share with you now, with unprecedented COVID coming into our lives in the last year. Suddenly the schools were closed, but our continuum happened. Our teachers, we did not even lose one day. Our teachers who were not really aware of how to do online teaching, somehow they hooked up, or they tried in their own means. They have their own fraternity within the same school and other schools also. They hooked on to it, and then they learned beautifully how to connect to children having different kinds of devices without leaving a single child. They tried to continue the education. That is something really very worthy of our teachers. That is the one thing. And another thing is, um, right from inception, Kendriya Vidyalayas have been focusing on holistic development of a child, not only to the scholastic activities, but various activities. I must tell you, rather, there have been some complaints also from parents. So many activities happen in the school. Studies are rather taking a backseat. That is not a true statement, but many parents had that kind of a complaint as well. But the thing is, along with our regular time framed classes, we also give a lot of importance to other activities. For example, sports activities. Sports activities, we have more than 45 sports and games events earmarked for Kendriya Vidyalayas, in which the children participate at school level. Again, the children who are doing very well will go up to cluster level, and then to up to state level, and then up to national level. So at national level, we have a very mega event where the children come to one place, thousands of students, selected students from all the states of the country, and then the best are chosen, and they'll form our Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangatan state team, which represents KVS at SGFI in various these 40 to 45 events. So this is something which happens throughout the year. The sports, I mean, we rather, our major objective is to focus on the fitness programs of every child, but at the same time, children who have special talent in any particular game or sport are also promoted to move further and enter up to the SGFI level. There are many players who have played at national level and international level as well. That is one thing. Our scout guide activities are also are very large, at a large scale. We encourage our students to participate. I think more than 2 to 3 lakh students are enrolled on scouting guiding activities. There are also a lot of activities happen up to national level. And cultural activities, our children are singing, dancing are all promoted, and the competitions are also conducted up to national level. So a lot of such activities keep happening at various levels. I think that also has rather promoted holistic development of the child instead of only making the children bookworms. This is one thing we always think is the forte of KVS. I've met so many alumni in my journey who used to share. A lot of even civil servants used to say, what helped us rather come up in our life is the games that we played in our schools. The music, the songs our music teacher has taught. So I still remember those words of our alumni. So this is something. And most importantly, I think the one factor which must have played a bigger role in the development of the children is the kind of fraternity we have developed among all the Kendriya Vidyalayas. See, that is the advantage of having a very big chain of schools. We have more than 1,200 schools, and during all these activities of sports and games or cultural activities, etc., our children are constantly on the move from one place to the other. When the children move from one part of the country to the other, there's a lot that they learn by simply being in the other place. The kind of life in another place, the kind of food that is available, the kind of climate, the kind of people they interact with is something, a great learning. And this is what is happening throughout their stay in Kendriya Vidyalayas for 10 to 10 or 12 years. That is where I see our children become much more street smart when they go out to any new place very easily. Within no time, they mingle in the new group and adjust with them. This is something I feel is the advantage that our system has, being a chain of schools. That is, these are some, there are a lot of points, but I think within that time limit given to me, I thought I'll make a mention of these 3 to 4 major points. Otherwise, schools in the country in general are moving towards improvement of quality. Teaching is happening everywhere. Classroom schools are well established, and there is a lot of quality improvement happening. But our schools, in what way they are slightly different from other schools, is what I thought about, and I thought of sharing these few points with you. And I would also like to share with you with these kind of vision which our forefathers had for Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan, and the kind of activities which we are taking ahead with constant improvements and constant additions. Our children are coming out very well, and some of our alumni are somebody like Rajavardhan Rathorji is one of our KV students. He studied in a KV, and Sri Amit Khare, Secretary Higher Education right now, is also has been a KV student. There are many from different walks of life. And Dr. Ravi Kannan, you must have heard, who is a recent Padma Shri awardee, who is a medical doctor and has settled down in Northeast, serving cancer patients in rural areas, and is a recent Padma Shri awardee. I'm really proud to share with you, he's a KV student. So this is what basically the success of any organization reflects in its alumni. So I thought I'll also make a mention of a few students of Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan who made us proud. Thank you so much for this opportunity to the organizers, and I wish all the best for the webinar that is taking place. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. It was a very inspiring story from 5 regimental school to 1200 plus schools. And a student of KB is now Secretary of Education. It is very inspiring. So these great things, I'm sure that this will be takeaway. And we wish all the best for KBS to go ahead more and more. Now, after KBS, we have NBS and Navodaya.